It's so important to remember that, because once we are stopping the war within us, and I'm talking about in every cell in our body, stop the war, being acceptance, being forgiveness, being compassion, allow, then life can happen with no this complication of the mind or the ego.
This is the Bliss Realm podcast, where every moment is honored as sacred. I'm your host, Skylar Temple-Singer, and I'm having conversations with leaders, healers, the mystics, and so many more as we get curious about how to live a bliss-filled life simply through the everyday without bypassing our sadness or other feelings. We're diving deep into the great esoteric cosmos and even deeper into the flesh and feelings of what it truly means to be human, so that we can live more harmoniously on this planet and within ourselves. So let's step into this portal together and explore the Bliss Realm. Holy freaking guacamole, y'all. I just finished recording this episode of the Bliss Realm New Earth Leadership with Talia Sol. Oh my God. This is the love that comes from the depth of sisterhood and of unity and of being in your purpose in a lot of ways. I wish that I could have recorded the conversation that Talia and I had just after we finished recording. I think it's actually something I'm going to start doing, is having the post-episode spot, because every episode that I've recorded, there's just so much love and even more reflections that come through in these really juicy 5 minutes of talking after. And what we're chatting about today is what the new earth is. I feel like there's a lot of confusion around what this weird term is. It feels like we're almost like leaping onto a new planet, which, energetically, metaphorically, alchemically, yes, this is happening. However, the new earth doesn't happen to you. It happens and comes and is born through you. It's born through you being connected to the artist that you are, living in the simplicity of life, being connected to nature, to Mother Nature, to wake up from the slavery of just being a number, of following orders, and reconnecting to the elements, to what the indigenous, as Talia will talk about, have been living for all of eternity and hold all of this wisdom within. We are talking about Talia's experience of how the new earth came to be through her experience of growing up in Israel, of even being an infant and an incubator in a bomb shelter while bombs were being dropped, and what that experience was like for her, how she integrated this experience of deep heartbreak of the beginning of her life and other moments of life, of being in the military, to coming into a place of unity and love and recognizing that we are all part of the Great Spirit. That Great Spirit is each and every single person, each and every single thing, even the inanimate things and the birds flying through the air. We are talking about the importance of the collective, why going at it alone is harder. We are talking about what it looks like to be a leader as a woman, as well as what it looks like to be a leader with an embodied aspect of the feminine, how we honor the feminine in this life. We're talking about how there's not war with the masculine and feminine. It's just love making and how delicious that is. We are talking about being inspired by our environments and how the new earth isn't just an assignment. It is ultimately our dreams coming true, that we live in this lucid dream, in this reality now. So there is so much beauty happening in this episode. It's a long one because we go deep. Talia has this incredible capacity to open and just be present with all of reality. Like at the end of the episode, I asked her, "Where can we find you?" And she said, "You can find me in your heart. And you can see my codes in the sun, and you can see them all around you." And even as I speak that in this moment, it feels like deja vu, because I feel like I'm remembering myself in all of reality and all of existence. And in so many ways, that is a big reason why I'm here, is to remember that for myself and to inspire you to remember that in yourself as well, that we are all one. So I am deeply, deeply grateful for you to listen to this episode of the Bliss Realm. Please enjoy this episode with Talia Sol.
Blessings, everybody. Welcome and thank you for being here. Thank you, Skylar. Thank you for this beautiful portal. Thank you to the spirit. Thank you to our source. As we deepen our presence, our listening to this source, all creation, we light a candle here and we take a cup of water. So we invite you as well, if you have the just the flow of, you feel inspired to get yourself a cup of water or light a candle. Always welcome. And yeah, as we hold these waters close to our hearts, we can really feel the connection to this powerful, powerful element, life and form. Just breathe with it. Gratitude, great spirit, great mystery, all there is. Thank you for this present moment, for the opportunity to be here, to share, to explore more of the wonderland, the heaven of our consciousness together as one. We bless this water and we infuse them with our loving intention for our emotions to flow as a flowing river and to wash away the collective pain that many of us can feel in those times regarding with what's happening in the collective and especially in the Middle East right now. So may we really let it flow, the emotions. May we receive whatever it is for us to receive, if it's trauma or ancestral trauma that is waking up, or a very old or ancient wound that wants to be felt, wants to be integrated and healed. May we allow this water to wash us inside out, as we allow the divine grace and love to wash us with the purest light. So then all what's left is the love that we truly are. Thank you. Gracias. Uh-huh.
Aho, Satnam, and so it is. Thank you. As you're speaking that prayer, I'm holding my water, which has this symbol of the Sri Yantra, the symbol of the balance of divine feminine and masculine, divine union, which says divine love on it. And then I can feel my hands just like pulsing with the vibration of the water in my womb too, which is like also a carrier of the water. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful blessing, Talia, for being here. I'm so excited to have you on so that we can transmit our colibrihood to the world.
Ooh, yes. The world is ready for it.
Yes, the world is ready for the colibrihood, which is the hummingbird, the colibri sisterhood, which we share. And yeah, I want to share with you all a little bit about how I met Talia. I love on each episode to just paint a picture of what my own experience is of this person so that you all can feel the love that we share and why we choose to record an episode to transmit to the world. And if you haven't listened to episode 3, Heartchitecture with Helios, this is Talia's partner. And so in that episode, we're talking about building the new earth. Today, we're going to be talking about going from building that new earth, building the earth within yourself of your own consciousness from your heart, bringing that out into the world. And now talking about how we lead the new earth. So I feel like it's so perfect to have this beautiful complementary episode now coming from the divine counterpart of Helios. And yeah, so how I met Talia was the same night that I met Helios at Passover at Be Home, the community that we're part of in Costa Rica. And I had just entered into the kitchen, was just arriving to the property, and it was nighttime. I was really not sure where I was or what I was doing or what was happening. But I was immediately just like welcomed with this huge hug, beautiful, beautiful eyes, just full of pure love from Talia. And she really saw me. She saw my heart the moment that she met me. And yeah, I immediately felt home in that community. So yeah, that was, yeah, Talia was a big piece of me arriving home in that moment to a place that I ended up living for some time. And then I sat near her in the fire during the Passover ceremony, and I got to hear and be a part of the songs that Talia was leading. And it was so beautiful because I come from a family where my dad's side of the family is Jewish. I celebrated the holidays with my family growing up, but I was not super connected to them. I didn't really understand it a ton. However, I still have a lot of that love and comfort that comes from being around a group of people over a Passover dinner. And so to suddenly find myself surrounded by a group of heart-centered humans sharing beautiful, beautiful music and really being deeply connected to their culture and their music and their everything was just such a blessing for me to receive. And when I see Talia, I just see like these effortless rainbows basically coming from her. She is shining. She's golden and radiant. She is the definition of a goddess. Her hugs are so amazing. Her voice is pure and strong and vibrant. She is always celebrating life, and she's also giving space for the tears and the upset. And I've been witness to how brave she is to truly feel everything. I see her super balanced in her sovereignty while being in community, which, let me tell you, that is not an easy thing to do, especially as a leader in a community. I also see her balanced in her sovereignty and her divine union with her partner, which is also not easy. She is an amazing facilitator, puppy mama, sister, mother, lover, all the things. And I'm so, so grateful to be in sisterhood and yeah, just on this wild ride of this spaceship of Earth with this human. So yeah, welcome to the show, Talia.
Oh, thank you, my love. Thank you so much. It feels so delicious in my heart right now. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel my heart is like the wings of the colibri, the hummingbird is like Just drink for the most delicious nectar of your heart, and you're just such a unique, pure, and potent perspective from this beautiful, really pure light that you are. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful reflection.
Thank you for receiving. And yeah, today I really want to talk about so many of these pieces of how you show up in this world and how and why they're important. What I'd love to start with asking you is an interesting question is how do you define the new earth?
Mm. Mm. I'm really, feeling into the how can I bring everything that wants to come through in the most simple way, because it's the simplicity that really bring the access so effortlessly. Mm. Yeah, maybe simplicity. It's a good word to start with when I feel into the new earth. Um, Simplicity. As a human race, we we had a tendency to complicate things, to use our mind way too much, to make big things out of small things, and small things out of big things, and just to most of the time just really living in a movie that is everything but simple, many times, and the simplicity of our true nature, this embodiment of simplicity, um, for me is a new earth. It's a new paradigm. It's a new way of living. It's a new way of seeing the world and navigating and co-creating the experience that we call life, or that we call even world. As we interact with each other, doing it or being it, better say being it, from a space of oneness, that I know that you, whoever is listening to this right now, we love you. The earth, the puppies, right? All the animals next to us, around us, above us, below us, all around us, in all the existences of everything, in the seen and the unseen, is all one. So then, how am I walking in a world where I know that everything is one with me, right? There's no need to fight. There is no need to harm each other, because it doesn't make sense, not to the body, not to any stable or grounded mind. And it's really the harmony between all those parts of ourselves, inside and out, that they can be so different. They can be so different from each other. They have their own consciousness. They have their own opinions. They have their own taste. They have their own way to see the world. They are a unique expression, actually. In fact, they have such a beautiful, sacred, unique perspective of divine expression. And how can we be in acceptance with each other and harmonize our differences into something beautiful? How can we create an art, the art of living, um, from mixing these beautiful colors together? And you mentioned the rainbow. The rainbow is a very powerful code that I've been working with since I can truly remember myself, right? And you too, I believe. Um, and it's really that. It's to see how all the magic is coming out of that. and which means also to accept that there is rain and there is sunshine, but it's not only sunshine and rainbows if there is no rain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So really to be in this acceptance in the new earth, we are one with nature. We are in the rhythm of nature, just as the tree is growing, just as the birds are flying. We are being humans. We're being gods in a human experience. We're being this infinite spirit in this form for now. And how can we live in a sacred way with respect, kindness, love, compassion, truth, balance, in union, and from beingness and serenity, compassion together. These, for me, are the values of the new earth.
Wow. Yeah. Painting with the palette of life.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is the art of living. This is the simplicity. I really like, I mean, yeah, I talk a lot about being the creator of your life, being the artist of your life. And when you bring it to a palette with paint, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
we've got some colors here, and
Mm-hmm.
now you paint, and you can mix them or you can leave them untouched. You can use all of one color. There's infinite potentiality, and they all take their own life
Mm-hmm.
once they enter onto the palette.
And they're
Yeah,
all equally as well sacred.
yes. I really appreciate you bringing it to the terms of simplicity as well, because what you've really done is actually kind of take away all the complication of the new earth, which was my intention of behind asking you that question, because
Mm-hmm.
it becomes such a thing. The new earth, we're building the new earth, like, and it can become so detached from its roots. To me, the new earth doesn't happen to us, it arrives through us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Oh.
when you feel into the earth word, that to me, that's the foundation. It's creating a new foundation. It's how we live our lives. It's everything. And I just have felt into this wounding of some people who maybe are in a place where they don't quite know what that means yet, what new earth means yet, and they're not so on board. And so then there's this feeling of like they're going to be left behind. Like, where are you going? What do you mean you're going to a new earth? And which can be common, sometimes when we start to take sovereignty of our lives, when somebody wakes up. I know that for me, in my own experience, I I definitely felt a departure from my old life, quote unquote, because it was
Mm-hmm.
such shock when I first pulled the veil back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was definitely one of those people who was like, we got to build the new earth, like everything has to change.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've really come around full circle to just recognizing how all of it's already here. It's already arrived. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just a mindset. It's,
Mm-hmm.
tear anything down or, yeah, like, I don't know. There's no destruction that needs to happen. There's just this simplicity of breath and being, and it's the art of living, like you say.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes, I love that. And exactly, right? I mean, when I started to get visions for this new earth, I was, I will share a bit more into details if you would like that later about my personal journey, really. But I can say that I was in the matrix, and
Mm.
but inside of me, I felt like this is not. I'm not here for that. Like this is not what I even if all the world the illusion, right? Like all the world is doing it. It doesn't mean that it's right for me. And when I started to get those visions, I imagined utopia. I imagined really how like beautiful naked children are running free and dancing all together, and there is a beautiful family tribe, being so happy on a free land, and seeing the whole nature, all the forces of nature are dancing together. And for me, this vision is a vision that I'm still, I'm here to keep on being a guardian of this vision, because it came from spirit and it came for a reason. And what I'm learning with the time, as I, stepped out and stepped in and evolve deeper into what does that even mean and how does it look like and what's the gateway, I saw that it's really not just sunshine and rainbows as it seems to be in that vision. Because as I started to plug into community life and exploring how does it look like when people are so into the same thing as me, and yet how does it look like in the human experience? And I saw that it's so humbling. It's so humbling to want to vibrate on this frequency of heaven on earth. It's so humbling, because what I'm learning is that we are in a dualic experience, and the challenges are here. The challenges are serving us. And so as the darkness, what we call the darkness, right? The forces of destructions, um, or the unconscious parts of ourselves and of humanity, and noticing how everything lives inside of me and us and each and every person here. They came a long way in order to be a pioneer of the new earth with me, and before me, obviously, because I didn't came here if it wouldn't be for the the power and the sweat and the tears of our ancestors as a collective, my personal ones, and obviously the elders that I see today, really living this frequency. Um, and I feel like the simplicity is the practice, because the tendency to complicate things is there, in the human interactions. People can get triggered, people can get hurt, people will have different visions of how things, how they would like to see them. And much, much, much more than that. There is a lot. And I can really say, like, well done, humanity. Like, we did so well. I congratulate us for reaching to this point. As painful as the harm is in those days, the consciousness is evolving. Something is happening here. And just as much as we are here to hold a really high frequency of joy and abundance, and really living in this family life, and we're all one, and hugs and love and freedom. um, there are other parts of ourselves that already been through a lot, and these parts need to be loved, accepted, and integrated as they are. So in order for us to even experience heaven on earth, it's like, if I want to feel heaven, I really need to surrender to hell whenever hell is playing, I remember, I heard many years ago, and it's kind of stayed with me, how the door to heaven is in the darkest um, room in hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel it sometimes. It's a dance. It's like, oh, we're in the shadow. Oh, we're in the light. Like, let's just embrace the whole experience and make a love to it. You know, it's through this allowing ourselves to dance, to be in the experience, to welcome all the aspects of what life is and what light is, right? Because this darkness makes us shine. How would I even know the light that I am if I wouldn't know darkness in this human experience, in this realm? So, yeah, it's so humbling just to come down to earth. I'm feeling. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is a really humbling experience, and truly, as I awaken more into this reality of heaven on earth, it really is in the mundane in a lot of ways of just how, you know, this fantastic divine way of living is in every single thing that I do. It's in the dishes and all these different things, and it's also like it's in the moments when I feel like I'm in hell too. Absolutely, it is. It is the gateway to get back into your power, into those brighter moments, is by surrendering into the night. And I just see when you say that, like the eye of the yin yang, because
Exactly.
yeah, and then I see that within every human whose soul that I stare into. I'm like, I'm staring into the darkness within you right now, and I'm amazed. It's amazing.
Mm.
And absolutely, there is that utopia that we desire. And I certainly feel this within myself, and it seems to be something that so many who I encounter are feeling as well, is this desire for family, or that sadness that follows us around the people who, like, we grew up with as family. I was just chatting with some people about this last night, and just seeing that, like, my own things reflected in them. And yeah, that it's the dance between the creating family, accepting the family that we already have, and, like you said, fully accepting, loving, and integrating the parts of ourselves that have been through a lot. We've been through a lot.
A lot. More than we can realize here.
Absolutely. And there is this dance of, like, yeah, when so much has happened, there's this energy of, like, how do we go back? How do I go back to how it was? It was so perfect before. I loved it. And it's not like creating a blank slate, but yeah, there is a way to integrate it. And I see that in you a lot, especially through the life that you've lived. And I would love, yeah, for you to share some of those stories that you feel are relevant, of how the new earth, how heaven on earth has arrived through you, Talia, this being.
Thank you. That was my answer. The most simple answer. This breath. Yeah, it truly came through breath. The breath, the smile. It's yeah, such a good friend of mine, and they hold so much power. So for me, I was born and raised in Israel, and I grew up in the center. I was a city girl. I From a really young age, I loved climbing trees and being in nature, but it didn't take too long until I started to feel disconnected from nature, to the point where I was afraid of nature. I was avoiding nature. And it was also a dance, because there were moments that I reunited with nature, and I took this leadership course for young people that are all about traveling and connecting with the land. Not much in a spiritual way, but in a way, that definitely served me and was beautiful. Um, when Yeah, well, so when I grew up, I experienced my own personal darkness through violence that was in my field from pretty early. And I kind of like had the feeling of, oh my gosh, if I want to survive here, I have to fit in. I have to make everybody loves me, because the world is not a safe place for me. It's kind of like I need to have as many people that love me so I feel safe, because the world is not a safe place. When I was in the womb, there was a war in Israel. When I came to the world, there was a war in Israel. So as a baby, I shared a few weeks at least of being in the shelter, in an incubator, while bombs are going above our heads. And obviously, whoever is doing a little bit of inner work or inner awareness work can probably know that this is something that can be extremely traumatizing. And of course, my soul chose that because I truly was not meant to fully fit in and to be too comfortable, because otherwise I would be just playing the game, sucked into it and living in illusion fully. But there was part of me that just always felt like, hey, I am a light. Like, it was very clear. I could see it when I look at when I'm connecting with my inner child, or I look at her photos, like, or I hear stories, I see the purity of light. And I just knew that everything that's going on around me is not a reflection of this light. And it's not a representation of this light, and it's not what will motivate me in my life. So in a way, I always knew that something here is not quite natural in the way we live as a society, as a culture, as a religion, as a country, as a human race. Something was off. Something was just off. And the big breakdown I had was when I was 18. Just barely finished being a teenager and all what that means, and finding myself going to the army, because defending Israel is what we train to, look forward to. And for me, the military service was, I did 2 years. It was probably the darkest times of my life. I felt like my free spirit was not feeling that freedom. I felt like I'm being part of a system that doesn't truly care for me. I don't truly care for her or for them, if I be honest, because it wasn't my free will. Like, hey, I want to join the army because I really love you guys and let's play. Like, it wasn't like that. It was compulsory, military service. And I just felt like my personal needs were not met, and not even close to it, I would say. Maybe even the complete opposite of it. And I felt like nobody cares. I felt like nobody cares about me. In the same age of 18, as I was just in the beginning putting my toes into the service, my grandmother, my dear, dear grandmother, she transitioned and she left her body. And that really was for me, it's hard to even express it because I felt like a big hole, just opened in my heart, and it was so dark, and I felt like nothing nothing is here to fill up this hole. And something about my grandmother, she was this spirit that was so full of light, so full of life and love and this warmness, this familiness. She was just so much inspiration she gave me. She was an artist as well, and she did a lot in her life. She came from Iran. She was born in Iran. So she'd been through a lot in her life, and in her last years, she was getting even more and more into your thoughts create your reality and The Secret and all of these things. She was really there, and I felt like she was maybe one of the only people ever that truly saw me for my soul at this point. So losing her was really losing a part of myself that was keeping me alive, So military service, I got in there. I felt like nobody cares. I don't know how I even created a scenario where I'm holding a huge, M16 and doing trainings and wearing uniforms and all these things that it took me, years, and I'm still integrating. And like the level of purge that wants to happen from this experience is wow. I can only see how my soul chose this path, so I can understand what's happening with the collective, with the wars, with being a soldier of the matrix and filling up orders, and with being just a number, just like people that don't see my soul, people that don't care about what I'm going through, or a system that doesn't care, right? It's truly a system, and the system is just being, like alive or pumped up with life force energy by the humans that are being enslaved to work for that system to keep it alive. Instead of keeping a sacred fire alive, connecting to Pachamama, to Mother Earth, there is this a culture of feeding this force of negativity, like a force of like, let's destroy, let's suck all the energy out of people, keep them miserable, feeling like they don't have power. So they give us all the power, they give us the money, they give us the time, they give us their currency, right? Their energy. And I felt like I've been through all of this on my own skin, in my own experience. It was just so, like wild ride, very, very wild ride. And as soon as I got off the army and I felt like there are parts of me that just need to break free, I felt encaged. I felt slaved. I felt I'm not in integrity with my soul. This is not what I came here to do. I came here to shine my light. I came here to smile and hug and dance and flourish. And, I came here to travel. I came here to be with nature. And none of this seemed like that. As soon as I got off the army, I cut the card saying that I'm a soldier in someone's reality, and I just spread my wings and I started traveling and I started traveling and I kept on traveling and I kept on traveling. And this traveling it's never really finished. Like it's never really done. I feel like I'm gonna travel my whole soul journey. So I embraced this traveling, knowing it's like this part of me that knew there gotta be another reality somewhere else. There is no way that this is reality. And I started to see the world. Oh, what's happening in Peru? Oh, what's happening in Galapagos? What's happening there in New Zealand and Africa and the Far East and Europe? Like I went everywhere I literally could, and my spirit guided me towards. And I was really privileged enough to see so many ways of life and different cultures and beings. and different kinds of energies. And I saw that the world is not as dark as I thought it was. There is just everything here. And I can choose, where do I want to travel? Like, what do I choose? Where do I want to go? Right. So that's where I truly spread my wings and started to feed my spirit. And I met my spirit and I met my soul and I connected. And this is something that will connect us also to the rest of this talk, right? I connected with the indigenous. That was a big one for me. That was a big one for me, to connect with the indigenous. I felt like I felt like I found one of the biggest pieces of my soul in this lifetime. Because their existence reminded me of where I came from, reminded me of truth, of nature, of the wisdom that has been kept for thousands or billions of generations, especially if you're, indigenous, that are truly connected with the earth and the rocks and the elements and the fire and the water and the earth, the air, the ether, everything. Because these beings are so ancient. So we can really plug into universal wisdom, right? Rather than, I don't know, whatever religious books that were written so well, that really did a really well programmation, like well done. Today, I don't resonate with any of them. Like, it's a big no-no, and yet I leave some room for respect for the ones who do, and for my past self that did. And I know that there is a lot of truth in it, next to all the lies, next to all the fear that this God that is going to punish you, or like this God that is angry all the time, or enslaving in many ways, right? Yeah, I feel like today, learning from the indigenous, how the earth is thriving. So how can I support this ecosystem? I knew on my own earth, my body, my temple, my literal physical body, I felt that this is that I received by experiencing more than 20 years in Matrix, right? I knew this is not healthy. This is not nature. This is not our highest. This is not for our highest good. And so I received so much inspiration and codes that are already, they're part of who I am, of my DNA, of my blueprints, just started to open up as deeper as I went with this journey, the shamanic practices, connecting with the earth, connecting with the sun, with all the elements, and really being in deep listening and stillness to hear the great spirit truth, and not any truth that is, trying to mimic or fake that truth. And I found freedom, I found love, I found health, wealth, abundance, joy, laughter, and humor, and rawness, and wildness, and everything. I found everything. I found everything I've been looking for, everything I wished for, everything I prayed for. I found in this space, which was a mystery. It is a mystery still. It will always remain a mystery. All I know is what it is not. And that's what helped to guide me to come out of this hell and stepping deeper into this gate of heaven, following my heart and drinking medicine. That's a big part of it too. I mean, come on, ayahuasca had to come in at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So beautiful. I am seeing a lot of connections as you're speaking. Thank you for sharing your experience. Truly, like, yeah, I know you have experienced many things in this life, and it's one thing to bravely face them and experience that purge, experience the integration, and to go and step into all these new realities. It really, when you travel, it is stepping into like, and it's stepping into a new planet everywhere that you go. So yeah, to experience that and then to be able to share it. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, and some things that really stood out to me were some words, the words spirit and soul.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's something really potent about the way that you just even speak the word spirit, because I can feel just how deeply you are connected to Great Spirit, to the truth. And also when you speak about the soul as well as the matrix, it's like, you know, you said, I felt like they didn't see my soul.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the truth is that we are each the sun. We are each this soul. We're not S-O-U-L, we're also S-O-L. We're the soul,
Mm-hmm.
which is the name you go by, Talia Sol.
Mm-hmm.
We are solar. We each have this individuality with us that is connected, that's being given from the sun with the animation that comes from the force of the earth. So to not be seen in that is, to bring it more simply, is to not be seen. Like when we enter into that matrix mindset, is to not be seen for the soul that you are. And what's curious to me that feels very obvious is that the matrix of like feeling like you're in that slavery of not being seen for your soul, of just being a number and fulfilling duties, whether that's being in the war like you experienced and being in the army, or just being in a 9-to-5 job, or whatever kind of, wherever that mentality comes in, because it can also just be a mentality of programming that you're following. It to me mimics who we truly are. And because we are just sitting around the fire, the indigenous are sitting around the fire, we're maintaining the elements. We do have duties that we fulfill in a way. We are made up of numbers, but we're not slaves. Our souls are seen, and we have individuality. But there is this mirrored experience that it's very interesting to put up indigenous and then kind of like matrix, new age, or I don't know, like modern quote unquote style living. And I get really curious around how we can return, and how we can replug into that universal wisdom. But there is that question of just like, why did we even do it? Why is this even here, this matrix? For me,
Exactly why I needed to go to the army. Exactly the same answer, right? The same answer, because it helps us to liberate. How will we know freedom if we won't know what's the opposite in this dualic experience? We chose here to come and experience duality. It's part of the game of this realm, of this planet.
Yes, that's true.
And that's exactly why Mm. That's exactly why we are not in a war with the matrix. We're just waking up from it. The matrix is nothing but in our mind. It's an illusion. I'm not afraid of the matrix. I have an online community and a Facebook group called Exit the Matrix. I'm waking up from the matrix. And people, approach me regards to that a lot because they feel like there are not so many people they can talk about it with yet. It is definitely opening up more and more as we evolve and opening our consciousness as one. And some people there is a feeling of, I'm afraid of the matrix because it seems like the matrix have the power. The matrix, the cops with the shackles, or like, I don't know what, the guns, the terror, all of those. Actually, this is all just a reflection of what's going on in our inner world. It's so important to remember that, because once we are stopping the war within us, and I'm talking about in every cell in our body, stop the war, stop the war, being acceptance, being forgiveness, being compassion, allow, then life can happen with no this complication of the mind or the ego. And we come back to simplicity. Exactly like in the savannah, you see the lion or the lioness, yeah, chasing after a zebra. She take the zebra maybe have a family, but the family is not coming to revenge, because there is an acceptance of how nature works. As long as we treat everybody with respect. The thing is, we reached a level in this game of our collective game where there's so much war, and there's just so much, the illusion of separation is moving people. Oh, this is mine. Oh, I'm first. Oh, I, and I, and I, instead of like, hey, let's open that up. And when we tune into what's going on, just in the past 45 days, probably now, in the Middle East, the land is burning, and there is a lot of suffer, a lot of pain, a lot of separation and war going on. And it's just a little tiny piece of the planet, right? It's like a little microcosmos, but we can see everything through watching that and witnessing that. And often I ask myself, or when I speak to people, like, how can we, because we are the new earth leaders. We are the new earth leaders right now. We don't need to do something in order to be the new earth leaders. We are the new earth leaders. This is who we are. So every thought, it's about starting to ask the right questions. Okay. For example, I spoke with another beautiful leader in Israel, and she asked me, will this ever be, disappear? And I'm saying, like, this is why to put the question there if the universe is answering our questions. Maybe we can start to ask questions that are truly leading us into solution, into unity, into oneness. And in order for this to happen, there is a level of forgiveness. So then our divine qualities, the ability to forgive, our patience, our compassion, our acceptance, these divine qualities that the great spirit, the divine God, the goddess, all there is so kindly, treating us with those qualities, if we only allow. When we start to embody those qualities, then instead of focusing, oh, we need justice, oh, we need revenge, oh, they killed my, instead of this, that is like an infinite like cycle in the loops of just so much war, even between the indigenous and the native people of the lands and the conquistadors, or all of what happened in all the planet history and her story. how about we start to really, really focus on the medicine? And when I say the medicine, I mean the medicine within us. We can get the support by the medicine in nature that is here to teach us how does it even look like and give us this outer perspective. And what I'm receiving from my medicine path is to focus on the acceptance, on the forgiveness, on the I love you, on the compassion, instead of chasing justice. We choose to let go of all these guns and start to hold roses for real, for real. And I know it might sound to some people like, oh, it's so like not connected to, but hey, let me tell you something. Let me remind you something. This universe, this world, this life, this experience we're experiencing, how much of it is truly what we see? Not even 5%. Ah, beautiful. Wow. Just a beautiful group of big birds just passed by as I'm overlooking the Diamante Mountain from my heart. Oh, they're coming back. So beautiful. They're making a circle. Yes, 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 yes. They're all white. This is what I'm talking about when we are connected with the Great Spirit. Then we are plugged into the magic. This is exactly what I came here to say in this very sentence. Magic is real. Miracles are real. They are way more real than separation, than war, than revenge. This is real. So once we are actually allowing ourselves to disattach from what we think shall be right to do, what we think the world shall look like, or they need to get this land and they need to back off and they need to, whatever it is that we think, they're keeping on circling and spiraling around. It's so beautiful. It's very rare. Like, it's the first time I'm seeing it is here. There is magic that's happening right here as this beautiful band of white big birds that are flying here in the jungle as I'm speaking from Costa Rica, from the heaven on earth field of consciousness, inside out. So believing in the magic, this is our work to bring back the wisdom that has been burned alive with every witch, with every woman, with every womb, with every human that was carrying those codes, with every tree that was just taking it down and as if it was nothing. And start reforesting and really physically, literally planting seeds of something new energy, new wind of something futuristic, something that we never seen before. And so exactly the state of mind where we co-create the new earth is actually a state of mind of a blank canvas. Because if we will keep, saying, how does peace look like? Or unity, yeah, better say unity. How does unity look like? World peace, right? Or from wholeness, yeah, wholeness. How does it look like? If I will look at what I know, I remember that we experienced here on the planet, then I'll still be limited. The invitation is to step into the infinite potential, unlimited potential of possibilities that the Great Spirit she's cooking it for us, as we speak. Like, it's happening right now. I feel it like bubbling in me. And being in this, allowing ourselves to truly let go, to surrender to what is happening right now in this very moment, as tough and horrible it might be, and to say thank you. I'm open to receive the gifts of this moment. I'm open to learn the lessons. I'm open to implement what I'm learning, to integrate it. So then my next move, my next step won't feed what created the problem, but is the solution with my thoughts, with my emotional body, with my physical body. Very important, the physical body. Your body is the temple. Everybody is the temple. And the spirit is alive in it, is existing in it right here and right now. We have the ability to move, not like our dear tree families of trees. We are, humanity, we are walking, we are moving, we can dance and jump and skip all the way towards the new earth until we see that sun coming out from the deepest, darkest hours, because this is nature. And I want to make it extremely clear. There is no doubts about the new earth is happening and taking form, because nothing can stop the sun from rising. It's the natural cycle of life. It's the death and rebirth. When something is dying, something new is already actually being born. There is no real death in spirit, in our souls. We are immortal. So to remember that as a collective, to feed our bodies with only the best, So we won't fall into survival game, but we be on a thriving game. Thriving is this game that can be played by somebody who is willing to own and reclaim their power, their wisdom, their sovereignty, their love, and be guided by their hearts. This is all leadership of the heart. This is the new earth, is the leadership of the heart. My heart is guiding me and nothing else. And I'm here to polish my heart from everything and to put back the pieces from every heartbreak I've ever experienced. And I experience, and we all experience, either in this lifetime or a parallel lifetime, that also coexisting with us in the quantum. So even those parts of ourselves, because they exist, we shall receive them, and receive them with love, and welcome them to join us as we transmute, as we come back, we compost all this waste, all what no longer serves us, and we let it be the food, the nourishment of the new earth, physical earth, our body earth, our one collective body earth.
Aho.
Aho.
This is perfect of speaking of the one body earth, because I'm curious, in your perspective, why is it important for us to be united in the collective? Like, when so much of it kind of comes down to your inner reality of your community that you're around, but then you hear about all these other things happening all over the world. Like, what is the collective really? How is it important? How do we unite?
Oh, I love the sound of the birds all around you, singing with you, my love.
They're singing a lot today. They're singing for you.
They're singing for us as we rise together as one. One, not only human race, one being, one nature. It's a great question. I love that question. Thank you for asking it. I feel like in my experience, when I felt alone, it was very hard for me to go through my initiations, to meet the demons, to go into the darkest night of the soul, and to heal myself physically. I healed myself from two kind of a little big of a deal things that the Western medicine world told me, you have to come now to do a surgery. And I was like, no, let me feel into my body for a moment before he told me what I should do with all this stress and fear. And I really, that's what that's what I discovered, right? That's what I discovered, that our body have the ability to heal itself. However, being alone in that is way harder. Because when I felt like I was the only light around me, like the only like true big light, devoted light, like shining, allowing myself to freaking shine all these lights, like as much as I'm insecure or whatever, like it was stronger than me. This light wanted to just shine. I remember days that I was crying. I felt so lonely being that light in the darkness. I remember I said to a friend of mine, he asked me, why are you crying? I said, I feel like a lighthouse, but a lighthouse is standing alone. And it's not fun to stand alone. And today, since I made my transition to the new earth, like embodied frequency, living here in Costa Rica, really under all those values that I mentioned here today, and community values and taking action values, I feel like I'm never alone. Not only that the Great Spirit is always, always, always in me, above me, below me, all around me. I feel the human beings, and not only human beings, a lot of allies from the unseen realm, ancestors, animals and plants and crystals, a lot of consciousness and fields of consciousness that are holding hands with me around a big, big, big sacred fire. Not too big, because it doesn't need to be too big. It doesn't need to be too big. We don't need to take for no reason, you know. We shall only receive what we need. And we are holding hands around this beautiful, sacred, well-tamed fire. And see how sacred the fire is as an element that receives all our waste. Right? We give it to the fire. Let's give it to the fire. The anger, the stress, the pain, the panic, all of what we want to be purged, like give it to the fire. The fire knows how to transmit it into light. See the sacredness of this element. This magic is inside of us. It's in our gut. The sacred eternal flame in our hearts, changing colors. I know this flame very well because I am connected with it all the time. And if there are moments that I forget because I'm still a human and I'm not gonna act for a moment that it's not happening, that I forget for a second who I am, and then I'm playing this smaller version of myself, it usually plays out in my most intimate relationship with my beloved. I remember I breathe. And I remember truth again. It's like, oops, I forgot. Oops, I went out of tune. Okay, no worries. Just as when I play guitar in a ceremony, or on stage, or alone, all of them are equally important, that I will take a moment to tune my instrument before I start. Because these frequencies are influencing the field, either in harmony or disharmony. And we live in one field, and every little word, every little melody that's coming out of me, either if it's my own, the instrument that I am with my voice and all this vehicle, this beautiful body temple, or instrument that I play, that I make love with, right? may we focus on the love, on making love and not war, making love, more harmony, more acceptance. And it's exactly in those moments where we forget for a second who we truly are, that we need this compassionate guidance, compassionate space holding, better say, from each other and from ourselves, within ourselves, in our inner parenting, our inner leadership, to lovingly remind us to come back to breath, to come back to simplicity, to come back to love, to come back home, to come back to heaven. So doing it alone is not fun. And our power is in our unity. Because, like I can go now and train my right hand, right? They did it very well for us in the Matrix. Train only my right hand. Amazing. Now my right hand is so powerful. Like I can write, I can lift things, and I can do all these, whatever. But it's only going to be one hand if I'm going to work only those muscles. My true power is if all my body is well developed, and every muscle and every organ and every part of this whole is being themselves. I don't need my eyes to try to smell, right? Each one doing what they came here to do. And this is also the humility of us as different cells of one body, as we say. Like one person is going to be leading from first line, like leading and having a lot of responsibility and making big choices for masses. And another person will be a leader in motherhood or in fatherhood. Another person will be a leader just internally and lead their own life choices through paths of truth and health and wealth, prosperity. But we are all needed exactly as we are. One will be a shaman and one will be a hairdresser. It's perfect. The thought that the ego leadership taught us until now was that we need to compete each other. We need to be everything. We need to be the best of everything. In order to be loved, to be accepted, to be validated, to be, worthy, like to be worthy of existing. It's like we need to, like, there's this like neediness to give ourselves the approval that we are worthy enough to exist. And it's all an illusion. It's the biggest illusion, because the oneness that we are, which what I call the Great Spirit, is already, for this consciousness, this supreme love, we are already everything. And we are already loved, and we are already perfect and successful just as we are. Even if we don't, get off the bed the whole day, like who cares? It's okay. It's okay to be exactly, and not a millimeter less than what we are naturally, the most naturally possible, are in every present moment.
Oh, you're so beautiful. There's nothing to say but just the breath and the thank you. And I love how you describe the Great Spirit as our oneness, as our unity. Yeah. And just the simplicity of that, doing things alone is harder.
Mm-hmm. We're not designed for that. We can, if we want to.
when you say that you feel all of reality breathing with you. When I was young, I used to be scared by it. When I started on the medicine path, I was even more scared by it because it got amplified. And then I made friends with it because I realized that I was seeing all of spirit reaching out with its hands of the curtains and the furniture and the trees and the beings and the air and all of it touching me. Like, I could feel and see like these hands reaching out just with this ambivalence. I used to be scared because I would think that meant that these creatures were going to animate and become alive and come and get me because I was wrong for existing, as you just described. And the exact opposite is true. And it's that moment of going from feeling like you're completely alone in this world to realizing that you couldn't be more held. You couldn't be more united with Great Spirit and everything and all of it. Even when you're down in those darkest moments that only you can go through sometimes, even when you're in the matrix and haven't even experienced that oneness or can't remember what the Great Spirit feels like or what it even is. It's still always there, and that soul always beats through you, right? I love how you describe the fire within, knowing the fire well and how it takes everything, it transmutes everything. That is the soul, the solar within you.
And it's so sacred, right? Magic.
Yeah, you are so connected to the sacred and everything. And I love how you speak on how the leadership arrives through each and every individual and how we lead in our lives now. There's such an energy of like, these are who the leaders are and nobody else is leading, but you lead by being yourself.
Yes. Ooh, I love that. Can you say it one more time? You lead
by being yourself. World.
Woo! Yoo!
And I'm curious what that feels like for you. This is one of my last questions for you. What does it look like to lead as yourself as a woman?
Thank you. It's definitely a journey that I'm learning every day how to dare to lead as a woman with so much background of traumas related to this. And it's truly coming back even deeper. What happened before these traumas came, right? There was this beautiful feminine energy that was leading the way with minimum effort, maximum ease, with nature. Like it was just so natural for the feminine to lead the way. We have the womb of creation inside of our temple, the holy of holies. We have access to knowledge, information, and power that if we don't lead the way, then hey, like why isn't the pilot is the one that is flying us? Right? And obviously I believe that there is a co-piloting here because the feminine and masculine energies within all of us, all being also inside a female, a woman or a man, or both together. It's this divine union that truly is able to fly. It's like to have the right wing and the left wing, right? We need them both in order to be balanced as we fly. So it's me deepening listening to the wisdom of my womb. I feel it's coming from my womb. I also feel like it's coming from Mother Earth, and it's coming from my sisters. It's something I feel it a lot from my sisters as we circle up in women's circles or doing women's retreat, and we really dive deeper into a container of feminine only, and they get to just share what's truly coming through them, and just noticing, wow, there is so much power there. There is so much wisdom. If we would only be the ones that are actually, stepping forward and leading. The masculine shall definitely, humble themselves in order to allow this to happen, because the feminine need to feel safe in order to come through with all her glory. And it's again this remembrance of oneness that is the glue of everything all together, because it's not feminine or masculine. Like there's no war between the genders, which is the biggest war that we are really witnessing. There is no war. Like war is over if you want it. You know this one. There is no war between the genders. There is love making. There is a constant love making. It's two energies that are complementing each other, and together we can truly reach higher and higher and higher, and lift each other up. Because the feminine, there's so much wounds there. The masculine, there was so much wounds and not even awareness there, to a lot of toxicity. So I feel like in order for me to empower the feminine, which is definitely one of my missions in this lifetime, to empower the feminine to rise and to step forward and to gain courage to do those things that once, I was burned alive for doing those. To dare to come back to safety is like bringing safety inside ourselves, inside our bodies. It's a big, huge, huge part of it. Really regulating our nervous systems, making choices that are truly serving us. So then, we place ourselves physically in a field that feels good. Because a lot of time, I'm speaking to different clients of mine in coaching and healing, and I see sometimes choices of like, wow, they're still, they understand that they are divine feminine rising, yet the biggest choices of their lives are still, to locate themselves in an environment that is not empowering them, or in an environment that is not allowing them to it's not allowing, the environment cannot allow you. It's you that you don't feel inspired by the environment to fully shine your light to the fullest. So it's really to start making those choices that are serving us, including where do we locate ourselves. It's so we can really influence the field and the light. Again, to your previous question, when we come together, if now we're in a dark room and I'm going to light a candle, the whole room will be lit. You'll be able to see, everywhere you look, if you really look properly, because a bit of the light is, taking away a lot of the darkness naturally, without any war involved, any conflict, any problem, any issues, nature only. And so imagine what happened when we bring few candles together, right? The light that we get to shine is, and as if we come together, I am a light, you are a light. The one, you that is listening to us, you are a light. Everybody we encounter are light in our essence. No matter how much darkness we see in a person, they are light in their essence. Let's remember that. We are all one family of light. And when we allow ourselves to shine together, our light is as great as the sun. We are able to shine the darkest of nights. We are able to illuminate and heal so much of the suffering and the pain that was caused in this darkness moments. So our impact is greater on the field. And as I say, it's a co-creation, feminine and masculine. We all get to rise together. We all get to share our gifts. We all get to be our unique, most authentic expression at any given moment. In our divinity, in our humanity, not just in the higher chakras and like up there, but down here in the underworld, with our hands in the mud and in the clay and what people call dirt, which for me is not dirty. It's Pachamama, it's mother, it's our mother. And this is truly, being a leader for me. I have to say that too. If you feel called to step deeper into leadership, start to plant seeds in the earth wherever you are, regardless. It doesn't have to be your garden. Actually, knowing that you're not, there is a saying, a person that is planting seeds, planting trees, knowing he will never get a chance to sit under their shade, is started to understand the meaning of life. So this is a big leadership act, and we tend to do it. Now we want to do it even more regularly. Every new moon for sure. My birthday, I plant trees. Somebody's transitioning, we plant trees. It's like we put a lot of intention in what we plant. And coming back to the feminine aspect of it, which is definitely much related to what I just said, because the feminine is the earth. And if we want the feminine to rise and to meet the masculine in a place of, hey, we can really make a difference now, we can really change, then we both need to come out of our comfort zone and to start feeding the feminine first. Because we are the ones with the womb. We are the ones that are carrying that earth. We are the ones that are carrying the baby. So feeding us first, feeding the feminine first. And whatever it means to you, right? The feminine energy, like giving space to just be. Giving space to just be, to self-care. Self-care is first care. And to be a feminine leader is to know that self-care, it doesn't mean that I am like not in my mission. Self-care is me very much in my mission. Self-care is the foundation of what I came here to do. Without self-care and taking care of my temple, physically, emotionally, spiritually, to clear my mind, to allow my emotion to flow in grace, right? To not leave stagnation in my body, to shake out things when it's needed, to tap on myself when it's needed, to breathe deep when it's needed, to yell and to scream when it's needed, and to come to the earth and bleed with the earth, or speak with the earth, kiss the earth, give back to the earth. In that way, we are actually being the medicine for the collective. When we see Mother Earth, like she haven't been seen by the Matrix, by the ones that were taking over and trying to rule the world. They took so much of her treasures. Every time I'm starting to speak about it, I feel emotional. Emotional, and this is my path, to bring a lot of compassion to them and forgiveness. But truly, they've been taken so much of the earth. And a lot of time it was covered by spirituality. I remember when I was younger and I went to a synagogue a few times, and I saw like so much like plastic one-time use plates and forks and utensils and all of those bowls. And I felt the pain. I was like, okay, so we are all gathered here to praise the Lord, but nobody cares about Mother Earth. Nobody cares about how this little spoon has been created. Literally taking her treasures, her life force energy, and burning it and doing all these polluted and polluting, dirty processes in order to provide us something that we're going to use once. It will stay probably forever in our planet, on our land, in our oceans. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I feel the pain when I see those things. And I feel the pain every time I almost have no other choice but getting something that have plastic in it and being like, oh, even then giving compassion to myself. How can I drop that to the minimum of the minimum? And within the plastic, you really use plastic that is recyclable, because a lot of plastic is not truly recyclable. It was also part of the lies of the matrix, and to make us have this consumption with feeling that we are okay and not having all this guilt around it. And we can just keep on consuming, and like feeding these parasites that are living in our bodies and in our collective bodies. A collective body, which those parasites is the matrix, right? Is the government, is the police, is the armies, is the ones that are making money out of war, the ones that are making money out of separation and division, and feeling empowered by it, feeling like they have the power when actually they are this small. They're so small that it's even ridiculous to be afraid of them, because their true power is nothing. The only power is the power we give to them. The only power is the power we give to them when we watch their videos, watch their news, pay to them with our money, with our time, with our energy, pray to their God that they, brought together, and basically feeding this energy that just is all about fear, is wanting to control from fear, from putting fear in people's minds and consciousness. And I mean, we all been there. I mean, it's very rare to be a human on the planet. 2023, that year they put time on it and numbers, and to not be in some way, one way or another, victimized by this culture. And this is our collective work right now as leaders, to heal those wounds, to acknowledge, I was a victim. I was following someone else's orders. I was saying amen without asking questions. I was signing the contract without asking questions, without looking at it. I was giving my hand to this. I gave my power away, and now I reclaim it. It stops when I dare to reclaim it and to start making my steps in another direction, in the opposite direction. In fact, to be so connected to nature now, listening to the nature, so then nature will guide me and not them. So I allow the Great Spirit to guide the way.
Mm-hmm. As you were speaking that, I looked up and saw on the railing of this building next to me this crow just walking on the ledge, and then like puffing up its chest and kind of going back down, looking around. And you're saying, reclaiming your power and letting nature guide me. And as you finished speaking, the bird took flight and soared away.
Ah, thank you for that. Caw. We love you, birds, messengers of the spirit. Thank you for reminding us to look at everything from from a higher perspective, so we can see the full picture and not be trapped in this like box, or whatever it is that we've been trained to look from, or be it, and understand things rather than understand or higher stand. Also about the topic with the feminine leadership, it's important for us to know that one of the part of the programmation that the Matrix gave to us as a collective is a world where the leaders are mainly men. They're well, if we could call them men, okay, we will, because we are an exception. But definitely not in the balanced way of what masculine is, right? But rather, masculine is driven by their ego. And as a feminine, looking at parliaments, looking at government, looking at even at the army and the police, so all of those spaces or programs that are kind of ruling, that kind of like they have the power. A lot of time there are men in there, so it feels intimidating, and it feels like they have the power, when in fact this is not the truth. So we've been part of the programmation and the manipulation happen in a way that they put them on like up there, and we look at them from the crowd, and they're like up there on stage, this like high, we need to look up to them. And then it creates this illusion that they are higher than me, they are greater than me, they have more power than me, and I'm this small. What does my voice even matter? And I notice it also nowadays with the war that's going on in the Middle East. I see a lot of people that finally like got motivated to speak up. They don't even care what they speak, as long as they finally speak, because they've been dormant for so long. So they speak up and they put their voice out there, because they think they know that their voice matters, and people are watching them on social media or this. They want to bring awareness to something, to whatever idea they have, whatever. Hopefully, I'm not taking any sides. Growing up in Israel, I'm not taking any sides. I'm here with the oneness. In oneness, there's no side. We are all over the whole. But I see a lot of them are starting to speak, which is great, because it shows us that sometimes a lot of people really are learning from pain, and like we need this like trauma that will motivate us and put fuel and be the wind under our wings to fly, and to take initiative, and to speak up, to rebel if needed, and to speak our truth, even if it's not, someone else's truth necessarily. And I notice also a lot of people that are going on the other side, where they say that they feel useless and voiceless, and what will I make a difference? Like, I don't know if I even, as a client saying, I don't know if I even should talk about it, because, like, what does it matter? It's like, what difference it makes? So I really want to speak into that and say, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. We are not small, and our voices are not small. We are divine, incarnated in this now moment, where we are all equal in the now. There's no hierarchy in the now. There's no hierarchy in the quantum. We are all powerful. We are all important. We are all equally precious. And we all have the ability to change the reality we see, because we are all creating this reality. So how can we come back to circle, and to bring more feminine, to speak up into this circle? If you are a woman listening to this, then it's an invitation. Just an invitation. If you feel inspired in your own way, in your own time, to speak up more. In the moments where you feel blocked to speak up, remember that this is your ancestors, that your past experiences that now trying to protect you because speaking up once was harmful for you. Know that today we live in another world, and let your spirit, your intuition guide you when it's safe for you, because you are safe. There is nothing to be afraid of when everything is you. If you're not harming yourself, nobody is harming you. So speak up and speak your truth. Your wisdom, you carry wisdom coming from source in your own unique way, based on your experience, many, many lives. So you are worthy to bring that voice, to make that change, to support others, to shine your light, and to share your gifts in any way you can possibly imagine. Be creative. You are creative. You are creativity. And if you are a man hearing this now, then I encourage you to listen more to the feminine inside of you, feminine parts of you, the feminine energy of you, the Pachamama, the Mother Earth in you. What does she need? Where is she afraid to be seen? To be, to be, to be. So then you're overdoing, you're over analyzing, you're overthinking, you're over controlling or protecting, even overprotecting, and just really allowing your inner feminine to lead, to be heard by you, to lead your heart. See what does it look like when there is a feminine pilot, and just explore it. What makes it, what difference that it makes in your life? When you're way more in flow, in spiral, you're moving more gently, you're walking the beauty way. I'm not saying to shut off your masculine qualities at all. However, your masculine qualities have been so overstimulated. So then now give some space to the feminine to be acknowledged and heard and embraced. And so the divine union can happen naturally, beautifully, and harmoniously. And from this space, they meet each other in the heart space. And this heart is leading your way, leading your world. And from that space of self-leadership, leading our world, co-leading our world as one.
Yes. May we all know ourselves as the unity of the Great Spirit, that we know ourselves to be with this eternal light shining, this fire within ourselves, to be connected and to honor the feminine through our mother, the earth, with the light of the Father, the Son, shining through us. And may that oneness connect us each to our uniqueness, the oneness of each of us that we are in this great spirit, to lead and be this great shining source of beauty. May we walk the beauty way and know that it takes two to create the dance. It takes the right and the left wing to fly. And that there is no war, that it is love making. We are in this great love making to this reality. And yeah, we are simply going from sleeping to waking up, to sleeping to waking up, and remembering and forgetting and remembering and forgetting. It's
and
just
forgiving.
and forgiving and accepting and forgiving and loving, and letting go of justice and revenge, letting go of the loops, awakening from what is not natural into the natural, so that we can care for each other, coming back to the oneness, coming back into utopia, coming back to the simplicity the art of living as we paint with this rainbow palette of life.
And so playfully and so sacredly and ceremonially and in an exploring way of, what else is possible for us here? Not out of stress or out of fear. We have to get this new earth now because we need to save the planet. Just keeping that playfulness and allow the magic to come through us. It's through this magic that we're really birthing the new earth. It's not with our mind or our rational mind or how long will it take or how much plastic we need to stop consuming in this amount, like yesterday, like it's going to happen through magic and through miracles. It's the golden age of miracles.
Yes.
So yes, 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 yes to life. Yes to our sensuality and sexuality. Also, it's feminine to bring our power out, to not be afraid of our sexual power, and to allow this to be seen in whatever way feels comfortable for us, because this is powerful. It's magnetic. And once we navigate this energy to the right direction, our chosen reality, our most desired reality, then we'll see the magic unfolding all the way to this bliss that we are under this or inside the portal of the bliss of this podcast.
Yes, it's the Bliss Realm.
The Bliss Realm, baby.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, Talia. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing your incredible, incredible passion and beauty and wisdom, your years of experience, your ancient future soul that, yeah, I really directly can just feel the transmission of how you speak from all time, from all reality, and always, always, and only from the heart. So thank you from the bottom and from the sides and from the corners and all the parts of my heart.
From the infinity of your heart.
Here today. Do you have any last things that you want to share, and also where we can find you?
I love you. You can find me in your heart. You just tune in. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. Yes. If I want to share one more thing, I will mention a few code words. Art. Art. We are making art as we're making the new earth. We're making art. May we enjoy this journey. May we enjoy the ride because we are making art together. And as we unite our colors and our unique lights. And beingness, serenity, dreams. We are here to make our dreams coming true. The Great Spirit is all her greatest desires is to help us to make our dreams coming true. And so this is not just a dream. This whole experience is lucid dream. So we are lucidly dreaming this reality. And it's not just a dream. It's the reality that we are weaving together. So there and just welcome courage from the divine. You don't need to make up courage out of nowhere. Courage already exists. All the qualities are already existing. All the archetypes are already existing in this quantum field. Just welcome them, breathe that in, and allow them to play through you with deep listening to the present moment, to your personal needs, your body, your heart, your womb, the light family, the light workers. And may we stay guided by this light, with nature, deep listening to nature, As we humble ourselves and remembering that our biggest power is in our unity with all there is. So Great Spirit is always with us. Mother Earth is always with us. All our allies in the seen and the unseen are always with us. And we are here for each other. And I'm here for you. I am here for you. And we are here for you. And we are in this together. And we are one. And you are listening to a part of yourself that is saying this to you because it's true. And you know it. And only you know how truth it is for you. So may we keep, play the most wonderful game we can possibly co-create here together in this experiment of life on earth. And may we grasp the presence of every present moment and breathe deeper, walk slower, and stop and smell the roses, receive their codes, their wisdom, connect more to nature, and just live our lives without needing now to save the world necessarily, yet knowing that we are part of a bigger picture, that this is happening already. Noticing our own world, how can we beautify our own world, our actions, our thoughts and emotions, and acts of kindness and respect. So, gratitude, the joy of life, the ability to be alive, and to just, be a witness and part of all this magic, and having this body. Thank you so much for the health and wealth and all the bounty you give to us so kindly, infinitely. Great Spirit. Thank you, the earth. Thank you, Skylar. So much love to you. Dear, 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 dear sister, goddess, light, shining light, so ageless being. Feeling so much gratitude to have connected with you in such a magical way, and to share this first hug, which looks like a first hug, but only in this lifetime. And I'm so grateful for also plant medicine that help me to open my consciousness and to heal enough so I can see the truth with such a clarity, clear eyes and clear mind. Where can we find me? Really in the heart space. As we look at the sun, you can see the soul, Talia Sol. My codes are a bit of everywhere, as we all are. And as well, I live since almost 4 years here in the paradise of Costa Rica. And we host here many things, from workshops to one-on-ones to community prayer dinners, to retreats and ceremonies, and ayahuasca, and different journeys that are for us to thrive and transform whatever it is, wherever it is that we are at, in any stage of our path. You're always welcome as you are to contact me. We're also doing a lot of world tours and serving different retreats and prayer performances and musical circles and moon gatherings and different things everywhere, and every time it changes by the wind. So you can check out my website, talia-sol.com, and you can find out there where is my this upcoming year schedule looks like. We'll have a lot of stuff going on here in Costa Rica, especially in the higher season, which is from the New Year's up till May. And then we're going to serve some magic in more countries. Looks like we have some festivals in Europe planned. And so just stay tuned. Definitely stay tuned. Our staff are very creative. They're including a lot of art, a lot of heart, a lot of rituals and sacredness and flow and heart and love, family. And I do my one-on-ones online. And so you're definitely more than welcome if you feel called to play with me in that way. I'll be more than grateful and honored to be of service to you and grow together, hand in hand, heart to heart. That's the main thing. Instagram, Talia Sol. How do you call this? Dash underscore. Talia Sol _ live free. Facebook, Talia Sol. And so much love, so much gratitude, so much gratitude. Thank you. I would love to hear back from you all, really, to hear how are you, who are you, to connect. It's such a joy of mine. I'm such a social being, and I love to smell all the flowers and to dance with all the butterflies and the colibris. So yeah.
Yes. Definitely connect with Talia online. Her info will be available here in the show notes, and also there will be some Q&A down at the bottom of this episode that you are welcome to engage with, as well as going online on socials. I think is also the best way to play with us. And yes, please get in touch with Talia. She is such a gift to know and truly has nothing but love to share with you. And thank you all for listening to this episode of the Bliss Realm today. I'm so grateful. If you're listening right now in this moment, I see you, I honor you, and I know you as the family, even if we don't even know each other in this moment. And I love you. You're always welcome to reach out to me as well. This is what the Bliss Realm is for, is the space to discover, the space to be free, the space to remember. And that is what I will leave us with for today. We'll see you on the next episode. Ciao.
Love you.
Be sure to follow this page and give the show a 5-star rating, or whatever kind of rating you like, to show some support. Share about it on your socials. Spread the word so that we can continue to share this message with love. Blessings.